G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and welcome back aboard the Rankin Collins class diesel electric submarine. Once again, we're in the South China Sea, in the East China Sea at the moment. Just south of the Yellow Sea, in between mainland China and Okinawa. We've been tasked with the mission to hunt down a pack of Chinese attack submarines that are harassing logistics and civilian shipping, and we gotta put them on the bottom. So looks like we've got a better contact on Sierra 2, but Sierra 1 is closer. Let's see whether or not we can ID these. Now, we did come across a submarine group. And yeah, I would say that is probably a Han.
Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Is not. That may be civilian shipping. Or something on the surface. We have got specific orders in this particular mission to avoid civilian casualties, so the idea will be to make sure we don't send anything to the surface, and that is a merchant.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
Okay, so it looks like we've got a Han. Now, actually in a little bit of the shallows here. What is our depth under keel? We got a duct and no bottom, so we must be on the edge of a massive cliff, because that is definitely a shallows. We should have the bottom there, coming into the islands, and yeah, just a drastic drop off into the deep blue here. So no bottom that we need to worry about unless we progress north, but we shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, small apologies everybody. We didn't get a video out in January at all. I was swamped. January is normally the point in the year where I have the least amount on. This year I have been officially launching my local graphic design business, one that's completely independent of YouTube. So I've been launching that, which is now done and running, and I've been building my online stores, which will replace the Teespring Magswear store. And again, it's going to be something that's a little bit independent of YouTube, but something that's going to deal in, well, hopefully some clothing designs and stuff done by me that may appeal to you guys. I'm working out some submarine stuff. I've got a couple of new jet designs. F-15 and F-35 are coming up. F-14, the recent poll that I put up on my the community section of the YouTube channel, that was me sort of trying to work out what the next design was going to be. I already had F-15 and F-35 worked out, but I was curious on where everybody was leaning, and it turns out F-14 wins. So I will be doing a Tomcat design as well, and they've all got to be completed by the end of this month for what will be the launch of the online stores in February. So I am, even before some of the personal events that have been happening in January, some have been good, some haven't been, I've been fairly pumped. So yeah, apologies for the gap in videos. Right, so the hand is heading in our general direction at the moment. We've got a range 17.4 kiloyards estimated at the moment, but we only have a 73% solution. Signal is pretty clear. It's not going to be able to detect us for a while. I think we're going to send one out.
Shoot 2-1, aye sir.
Get the fish in the water and we'll just hold steady. Actually, we're going to set depth. Now torpedoes loose. We will go.
Make depth 150
150. That's going to drop us just below the duct into the same zone as our target, and then we'll drop the towed array out. Keep the torpedo in the duct as we loop it around and bring it in on target. And actually, we won't need the towed array from the looks of it. We have just got a 87% solution at the moment. Nope, 95, just jumped. But I'll drop the towed array anyway, just so I can have a bit of a listen. Looks like a bit of cavitation there. Pretty sure that was a cavitation bubble I saw off the back of the Han then. Its current speed, 10 knots. Slowing. It's at 13.9 kiloyards confirmed. What are you doing making noise for? Alright, we're at depth.
Con, dive at 150 feet, dive high.
There we are, we are reeling out the towed array. The main reason I'm putting out the towed array at the moment, we've got good eyes on the target at the moment, we don't really need it, but I want to have a little bit of a listen just in case there's a second Han or second submarine floating around out here. There were two submarines that were relatively close together on the open map and we encountered this one, so we're definitely going to have a second encounter. I'm just curious on if this one here is alone. The Chinese submarines in the South China Sea campaign do often actually function alone, which is, it's odd. You would think they would operate in packs, but it could be a numbers issue for them. Alright, the Han has changed direction. Sped up to 20 knots. So at that speed it can't hear much at the moment, but it is closing on us rather rapidly. It's at a 12.4. Change the direction of torpedo now. Cut across. While it's running at 20 knots, it's definitely not going to hear it on the different layer. So we should be able to catch it up pretty quickly. And the further we can get the torpedo around towards the side, the further any kind of counter or retaliatory fire is likely to go in this direction. I doubt... What's detection on Sierra 1? Oh, she's slowing down to 15 knots. Yeah, she's putting on the brakes. She's probably going to drop down to 10. Alright, if she went active at the moment, she'd hear us. She still can't hear us on passive.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
Alright, it has definitely detected the torpedo. Counter fire on the torpedo's location. And she just went active. Which means she may detect us, so I'm going to change depth up 50 feet.
100 feet, dive high.
She can't hear particularly well because she's running at speed. She's up to 23 knots, which is her maximum, I think. I think 23 is her maximum. Han. Quick check.
Con
25.
Sonar, Sierra
do 25
1
potential.
is cavitating.
Yeah, cavitating maneuvering, so yeah, she's not being able to hear any of the returns, but if this doesn't kill her, which I think we're going to be fine, but on the off chance that it doesn't kill her...
Con, dive at 100 feet, dive high.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Torpedo's tracking nicely.
174.
Yeah, that counter torp's just going to go nowhere, I think.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 174. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 174. Contact breaking up.
Alright, so enemy engaged, 1 Han, it looks like it was the only one in the zone, 5,500 tons, 22,000 experience gained, and crew proficiency has increased. We only fired 1 torpedo, which is good, and well done, but unfortunately this was not your mission objective. Okay, so there was 2 submarine groups inside of the area. This obviously wasn't the right one, so we'll just have to go and find and sink the other one. Not a big issue.
Sierra 2.
Oh, that's close. Alright, so we're in the same area. It's only about an hour later. And we are being engaged by the 2nd submarine group. What have we got here? We surprisingly can't detect it well at all. What is our current depth? Alright, drop 50.
Make depth 100
And get the
feet.
towed array
Dive
out. Alright, it's not as close as we thought, so I don't need to worry too much there. That was awfully close on that initial estimate. We'll do Sierra 1 first, because we'll do them in order. Although maybe we won't. No, we'll do Sierra 2 first, because we got a much better signal on that. What is our target? I don't think this is a submarine. No, that is a merchant.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
That noise is likely screening this submarine, making it more difficult to actually get a bead on.
Con, dive at 100 feet. Dive I.
It could be a Victor 3. It could be a Victor 3. Yeah, I reckon that is a Victor 3.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Right, that is a very nasty boat to encounter all the way out here. Alright, array is out. We only got a 32% on the location, and it looks like it's heading down this way. No, it's heading south. It's heading away. Okay. Right. Well, let's clear the area for a start.
Make depth
I'm going to quickly go to
4 feet.
periscope
Dive
depth.
I.
Pop radar. Just to clear any surface contacts and just confirm Sierra 2 is in fact a merchant. $77. Now we'll probably get a complaint about the towed array here in a second. You can't run them so close to the surface because the actual noise of the waves directly above the microphones overpowers them. Although it might just not complain too much. Generally, it's anything above 50 feet. You cannot operate the towed array.
Dive at 4 feet.
Cool.
Dive I.
Let's pop our...
Raise the radar
Go
mast.
straight to radar. Don't worry about ESM. Cool. Yep, that is definitely a merchant, and we have nothing else inside the area.
Lower the radar mast.
down. So depth
Make
150.
depth 150 feet. Dive I.
And turn on to target. Once we're lined up, we'll put a torpedo down and see what happens.
Con, dive at 150 feet. Dive I.
Alright, torpedo 1.
Shoot 2-1, aye sir.
Is away.
Con sonar, lost transient
We have
from
counterfire.
Sierra 1.
Shit, Victor was closer than expected. A lot closer. Alright. Retract the towed array. We have a MOS ready. Victor is actively pinging, so it knows exactly where we are. Sneaky nuclear boat. Actually, our initial estimate when we first entered the zone was much closer to the genuine range of the Victor than what we thought it was. Even with the screw pointing towards us. Alright, get that. That is not going to take long. Alright, I don't want to do anything with the Collins just yet. Let the torpedoes get a little bit closer. Then I'm going to fire off the Moss. Once the Moss is away, countermeasure and crash dive. Go straight down to depth. Hopefully get underneath the torpedoes while they're chasing after the Moss. And hopefully the Victor will be too busy running from this torpedo, she's up at 30 knots, to actually do anything about, you know, relocating us or doing anything about adjusting these torpedoes. Although it's worth noting, 2 torpedoes out of a Victor, they will be wire guided, so they might try and follow us, and they may not follow the countermeasure here. To see what happens. Set course
Come
directly
left
between these
2, 0, 1, helm aye.
Really wanted to make sure this torpedo was tracking before we had to start maneuvering. But we're still good. 14 minutes on the torpedo. The Victor's running in a dead straight line at 30 knots, so... Interesting that these haven't detected us yet.
Helm,
I'm waiting.
steady course.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. I want the torpedoes close enough that they detect the launch. Torpedo's almost within range of the Victor. Still no detection. .5 kiloyards, still not detected. What the hell torpedoes did they launch at me?
Con,
This
fire
is-
control, weapon acquired.
Yeah, that's my weapon has acquired the Victor. Okay. This is the weirdest shit that I have ever seen. There is these torpedoes absolutely should have detected me, and one there, one there, straight down the left and right hand sides, neither one actually seeing my boat. What the hell is going on? Oh, pardon me, I'll edit that out. Alright, the Victor... Victor's dropped countermeasures. Countermeasures don't seem to have been taken. Torpedo
Con
still
sonar,
appears to be tracking.
noisemaker bearing 2, 0, 7.
And looks like we're tracking through the countermeasures again. Oh, that's looking good.
Con sonar lost contact.
Oof.
Sierra 1,
Gotcha.
last bearing 2, 0, 8. Contact breaking up.
Alright, that is the weirdest encounter that I have ever had in cold waters. Those 2 torpedoes just, they must have been set to surface, to detect surface targets and ignore anything submerged. And they've just gone straight past. they're a bigger threat to the island than they are to me. Alright, so, enemy engaged, Victor 3 sunk, 7,250 tons, 1 torpedo fired, and another 29,000 experience points for my crew, with proficiency increased. And, frankly, again, the weirdest encounter that I've ever had in regards to how a torpedo reacts. Both of those torpedoes should have detected me around about the same time. They both should have vectored in on me, and then I could have dropped the MOS, countermeasured, and dove in between the torpedoes, and by the time they got their stuff sorted, hopefully they would have caught the tail of the MOS and chased the MOS all the way to the island. But no, they just go straight past and ignore me. Excellent initiative, but this was not your mission objective. Okay, so that's unfortunate. That's 2 submarine groups down and a Victor 3 to top it off, which is one of only a handful that the Chinese have access to in this campaign. And yet, that is not our target. So we are going to have to lurk around the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea here a little bit. See whether or not we can actually find this correct group of submarines that we're supposed to seek, because these ones don't count. Anyways, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. I promise Cold Waters will be returning in the coming, well, in the next week, possibly even sooner than that. And videos will start going up onto the channel more regularly over the coming months, so we're back in business. Anyways, guys, until next time, take care.